Hello there. It's Karen coming to you from Salt and Sand Studios. Today our focus is like water off a duck's back. Pretty excited about this. I'm hoping that my microphone is working for me because it had a little crash last night. And I just want to make sure you can hear me. Anyway, when something happens, somebody says something, or maybe it's the morning and you drop something on the floor and you're not happy with yourself, and you kind of get a little bit worked up or a little bit focused on whatever that thing is. Pema Chodron calls that getting hooked. I get hooked a lot on certain things. Oftentimes it is my work life that I get hooked on. Sometimes it's something somebody said or something I did that I feel bad about. And I ruminate on it and ruminate on it and ruminate on it. I kind of can't get away from it. That's getting hooked. So today we're going to practice with some tools that help us maybe prevent getting hooked or recognize when we get hooked and let go of it. Why don't we go ahead and start on our backs? I'm sure that will make some of you very, 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 very happy. You're welcome to bend your knees if that is helpful for you. We're going to settle in. It's becoming aware of the body connected to the earth. Maybe sneak one of your shoulder blades up off the earth, send it toward the hip on the same side, drop it down. Then do the same with the other. And take a little tilt of your pelvis upward toward the sky, lengthening your low back. You're welcome to place a hand on the belly or both hands on your belly, or one hand on your heart and one on your belly. So you can feel the motion of the body as you breathe. We're going to take a box breath. The box breath is an inhale, a hold, an exhale, a hold, all with the same count or the same duration, the same length. We're going to use a box breath because a box breath helps calm things and helps you focus. And if something pops into your head while you're breathing, you're welcome to, on the exhale, imagine that you're breathing it out. Your exhale will be out your mouth. So you're going to breathe in to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it 4, 3, 2, 1. Out the mouth 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain it 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Take 3 more. Your cadence, breathing in through the nose, retaining the breath, exhaling through the mouth, holding, and again and again. Deep, deep, deep inhale. Let it go out your mouth. Flop your arms outward, left and right. And start to feel a little opening maybe in your biceps and across the chest, maybe across the collarbones, maybe under the arms. Spread the fingers wide and press the backs of the arms to the earth. And see if you can just make a teeny little arch right between your shoulder blades, lifting your heart. You're going to sweep the arms up overhead. And then draw your right hand and your left knee toward each other. See if you can tap. Squeeze the left knee in Ankle circles. Open and close the toes. Left foot on the ground, back of the right hand on the ground overhead. And same thing on the other side. Slowly lifting the right knee and the left hand to bring them together. Left hand on your kneecap, ankle circles. Open and close the toes. Right foot down, left hand down. Arms toward the ceiling, breathe in. Exhale, hands down by your sides. Flip your palms to face up. Inhale, arms toward the ceiling, fingertips tickle the sky. And exhale, backs of the hands up overhead. Inhale, fingertips toward the sky. Exhale, hands by your sides. Cross the right ankle over the left knee or above the left knee. Sorry about that. Activate your feet. And you're welcome just to take your right hand inside your right thigh and press that knee away and down. You're also welcome to gather the left knee in toward the armpit if you like. I'm not quite open enough to take that yet. I just want a little soft opening of the hip. And then stretch that right leg toward the sky. You're welcome to also stretch the left leg onto the ground, but maybe not. It might be a little early for that. Perhaps the hands come behind the thigh or the calf. And again, we find some ankle circles here, not forgetting to press the big toe mound of the left foot to the earth. If you like, you might take a hold of your pant leg, your ankle, your toes, and shift that right leg out to the right. Just starting to open up the hips, bring some lubrication in. Press the left glutes to the earth. Right leg toward the sky again. Hug the knee into the chest and take some circles with your knee like you're painting the air. 3 to 5 in each direction. And we'll take all that to the other side. Left ankle crosses above the right knee. Press the left knee away and down. Both feet are active. Left leg to the sky. Left leg out to the left. Bend the left knee in toward the armpit. Ankle circles, open and close your toes. And knee circles. We're going to bring the feet back to the mat. Drop your arms down to the mat. And then consider something that gets you hooked. Whether it's a word or a phrase that somebody uses, or a political situation, or maybe something that happened today or yesterday. We're going to sweep that away. You're going to place the right hand on the left shoulder. And as you sweep downward toward the fingertips, you're going to breathe out like a whoosh out your mouth. Whoosh. Do it again. Whoosh. And again. Whoosh. Place the hand at the top of the chest, right below your collarbone, and do that again. Whoosh. 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 Left hand on the right shoulder. Take that again. Whoosh. 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 And above the chest. Whoosh. 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 Find your way onto one side and consider an intention for this practice. Maybe it's the water off a duck's back, or the not getting hooked, or maybe it's something else. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Hands to your heart. Big breath in. Full breath out the mouth. Hands dropping to your lap, shoulders shrug up to the ears. Breathe in. Press them behind you, release them, breath out. 3 more times. And a child's pose. I will meet you there. I'm gonna remove my outer layer. Starting things off, hopefully you have a prop with you if you need it today. You can always jump up and grab a bed or a couch pillow. Not a bed pillow. And in child's pose, the breath is moving first toward the low back and spreading across your low back. And then as you breathe out, it's moving up to the crown of the head and releasing any negative energy, any hook. Hands walk backward, knees draw together. You come to sitting on your heels. You can always place something behind your knees. If this is a little painful in terms of the depth of the bend, you can also always fold over your mat and place your knees on top of your mat. We're going to take some cat-cows from the seated posture. Heels of the hands into the hip creases. For the cat, we breathe out and press the heels of the hands into the thighs and guide them down toward your knees, round your spine, drop your head. On your inhale, your cow shape. Nice arch to the back. Exhale, cat. Moving into a neutral spine. We're going to drop the hands by the sides and lift them up overhead. We're going to take that whoosh thing again, and we're going to round the spine and bring the hands behind us. Whoosh. Inhale up. Again. Whoosh. Inhale up. Last time. Whoosh. Inhale up. Hands to your heart, and then drop your hands on your thighs. One of the most wonderful ways to release negative energy is with lion pose. So with lion pose, it's like, the native New Zealanders, the Maori, when they do their war dance and they breathe out, they open their eyes, they open the mouth, and they stick their tongue out. That's what we're going to do on a breath out. So we're going to breathe in. 2 more. And we draw into a tabletop. Spread the feet a tiny bit. Press the ball of the right foot way behind us onto the mat and open up the calf, the heel, the sole of the foot, maybe with a little rocking or maybe not. Next time the shoulders come over the wrist, that leg floats off the mat. We keep the hips nice and square. Imagine you're stepping on the wall behind you. Draw your right foot out to the right, and then draw your right knee toward your right elbow. Lengthen the right leg to the right, knee to the elbow. Lengthen the leg to the right, sweep it behind, over the left calf. If you've practiced with me more than a couple times, you know we're moving into one of my favorite stretches. The shoelace side of that right foot comes down to the earth, and you glide the front of your right hip toward your left heel. It's not quite a pigeon because you're not aiming for your shin to be parallel to the front of the mat. If you like, so you should start feeling an opening along the left side, left hip, left glutes, maybe the thigh. If you have more to work with, tuck your right toes under to float the right knee off the mat and send your right heel farther away from you. We're going to rise back to a three-legged tabletop, draw the knee to the nose. Stretch the leg behind, bend the knee like you're stepping on the sky, and slowly use the glutes and the hamstrings to pump that leg up and down. And then one more time, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. The knee returns to the mat. You might find a wiggle waggle feels good. Some hula hoop circles with the hips. The letter C, left and right, cats and cows. You're really going to press the tops of the feet into the earth. We're going to take that on the left side, so square yourself up. Left leg reaches long with the ball of the foot on the mat. And the rocking if you took it on the other side, but really working maybe a dynamic stretch. We float the leg. Reach the leg out to the left. Draw the knee to the elbow. Leg stretches left. Knee to elbow. Leg stretch. Knee to elbow. Leg stretch. Sweep the leg behind and over the right calf for your glute opener here. Popping that left knee away from the earth and lengthening the leg if that feels proper for the body. The body is your best teacher. Lift back up. Knee to nose. Extend. Knee bend, stepping on the sky with the left foot, and pump that leg. Using the glutes, activating the hamstrings. Knee drops down, cats and cows, wiggle, waggle, hip circles. And we're going to move the hands back just a tiny bit and flip. You might bring your sitting bones toward your heels. Flip your hands so the backs of the hands are on the earth and the fingers point toward your knees. You might bring the hands much closer to the knees. And then if you like, you might find a rocking motion forward and backward as we open up the outer wrists. Press the fingers into the ground. Open the thumbs up. Come back into your tabletop and turn your fingers so they're either facing outward or more toward your knees. This is to open up the inner wrists. And again, you might find a rocking forward and backward is helpful here, or maybe not. I can feel it all the way up the outside of my right arm. Woo! Right up to the elbow. Tabletop. Hands walk forward a couple inches. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward dog. Maybe you pedal in and out here. If the head or the emotions or the sensations are settling on something that hooks you, like my hip hurts. It doesn't, but I'm just using that as an example. Maybe you don't allow the hip hurt, the hip pain to hook you. Maybe you breathe into that space and bring a little love to that hip. Maybe you acknowledge that the hip just needs a little bit more work today to loosen up. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale all the way down to the mat. Nose, chin, chest if you can. Hands come by your sides, palms down. Turn your head. Place one cheek and ear on the mat. Just a little neck twist. Palms are on the ground. See if the hands can walk toward the feet. Turn your head the other way. Turn your forehead to the mat. Bring your forearms to the mat so your elbows are right under your shoulders. We're going to find a little Sphinx pose. If you have low back issues, you might widen your legs. And now imagine you're tractioning the forearms and the hands backward, like you're drawing the top of the mat toward you. Belly button in and up. And a downward dog, maybe from a tabletop or a child's pose or a plank. Rise up to the tiptoes, bend the knees a lot, stay there, press your belly toward your thighs, press your heart toward your thighs. Slowly lower the heels toward the earth. Direction, not a destination. Make your way to the front of the mat for a forward fold. Finding yourself rooting into the ground. A halfway lift. Nice long spine. Exhale all the way down. 2 more half lifts, Ardha Uttanasana, a full round of breath in between. Root to rise all the way to standing. Arms will sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Hands drop. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise to stand. Arms up overhead. Exhale, release and fold. One more time. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise to standing. Arms lift up. We take a hold of the left wrist with the right fingertips. Give it a little tug. And then a tilt over to the right. Opening up the left side ribs. Nice and big. Making space for that heart. The Grinch's heart grew 3 times. Was it 3 times? Can't remember. Anyway, I'm not feeling grinchy or grouchy today, which is kind of nice. We're going to lift up, take a hold of the right wrist, a little tug, and tilt to the left side. Not that it much matters. I'm not getting hooked today. Rise back up. Hands down by your sides. We're going to take that, that whoosh, that release again with the right hand along the, you can even bring your left arm out in front. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Other side. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Arms up overhead. Same sort of thing we did kneeling, but more like a chair or like skiing. So you'll bend your knees, sweep the arms down and behind you, and breathe out through the mouth again. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out. In, rise up. Breathe out. In, rise up. East-west pose, left arm forward, right arm behind you. We're going to take a little back bend here. Bring your right hand to your left glutes or the back of your thigh and lift the left arm. Stretching out, opening the armpit toward the sky. You might even look up toward your left thumb. Shoulders over hips, both arms overhead. East-west again, left arm forward, right arm back. Left hand to left glutes or hamstrings, right arm high. Opening up that torso, giving space to let go, but to bring in goodness. Maybe a gaze up at the right thumb. Keep your back bent, sweep both arms up overhead. Sit into chair pose, draw the belly in and up. Inhale, lift to standing, breathe out, forward fold. Halfway lift and a forward fold. Step the left foot way back, runner's lunge. Step the left foot up. Step the right foot back, runner's lunge. Step the right foot up. Step the left foot back, runner's lunge. Belly energy away from your thigh. Heart forward, shoulders back. Left hand down, right arm floats, twist. Really reach the left heel and drop your back knee, twisting deeper potentially as you untuck your toes. East-west pose, use your belly to rise up. Left arm forward, right arm behind. Hands clasp your right hip, drop your chin. Sink deeper into your right knee. Press the shoelace side of your left foot into the ground, the heel of your front foot into the ground. Front and center, hands frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes under, crawl your fingers forward a little bit. And as you press to standing, you're going to lift your left leg toward the sky. It doesn't have to come very high. Draw your knee to your nose, then plant that foot. Rise all the way to standing, arms float. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, right foot steps behind, runner's lunge. Find a nice, big, wide, front to back stance. I guess that would be long, not wide. Belly energy away from the thighs, shoulders toward the hips. Heart forward, right hand down, left arm floats, twist. Letting go of anything that feels like it's dragging you down or holding you back. Exhaling out the mouth if that's what you need. Back knee drops. Twist deepens. Back toes untuck. East-west pose. Left hand behind. Right arm forward. Hands clasp your left hip. And the chin drops. Press lots of energy into the big toe mound of the left foot. If you're wobbly, move that left foot out to the left. Shift forward with that left knee. Hands frame your front foot. Back toes tuck. Step into a high plank. Low plank. See if you can press back to a high plank. Into low plank and your back bend. Any back bend will do, doesn't have to be deep. Downward facing dog. A breath in and a breath out. Making your way back to the front of your mat. Rise to standing. Cactus shaped arms. One of the things about getting hooked is once we get hooked on something, it's hard to be open to whatever comes next. So if we practice that focus, breath in through the nose, breath out through the mouth. We could even bring a mantra into play. I'm hooked, I release. I'm hooked, I release. Hands to your hips. Step the left foot halfway back on your mat. You might spread your feet left and right a little bit and find equilibrium between your feet. We're going to fold halfway down. Nice long spine. I'm grabbing a prop. Fold all the way down. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Lots of energy into the ball and the heel of the front foot. You might bend that knee. Loosen your noggin. If you are using a prop, allow the fingers to point forward. Bring your prop forward or your hands forward. Energy into that right leg and float the left knee off the mat once again, and the left foot off the mat once again. Knee to nose. Lengthen that leg, step into crescent warrior. Left foot way behind you, taking your time to find your way to your high lunge. Hands come behind you, maybe the fingers interlace or the fingers hook, and we open up the heart. Back heel plants, warrior one, low body. Humble your warrior. Hands drop inside your right foot. Bring the back foot parallel to the back of the mat and float upward like a windmill, arms windmilling into warrior two. Reverse. Warrior two. Reverse. Warrior two. Hands to your hips, straighten your front leg, step to the front of your mat. Arms sweep overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. A forward fold. Root to rise, coming to standing. Hands to your heart. Hands to your hips. Step the right foot halfway back on the mat. Adjusting your stance. Because you know where this is going. You want balance. You want equilibrium. Fold halfway down. Prop where you need it if you need it. Fold all the way down. Breath out. Working that left hip back. The front of the right hip facing the ground. Proper hands move forward. Energy into the left foot. Right leg floats. Doesn't have to float high. Knee to your nose. Because we didn't do this the first time, we're going to take this a couple of times. Extend the leg. Knee to nose. Extend the leg. Knee to nose. Extend the leg. Step back. Crescent warrior. Anything that's dragging you in, dragging you down, holding you back. Maybe you picture it. Maybe you give it a color, a word, and then we let go. Hands behind you. Maybe take the awkward interlace or the opposite that what you did before. Knuckles draw to the earth. Back heel spins down. Front knee stays bent. Humble warrior. Hands drop inside that left foot. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Right arm, like Harry Potter's magic wand, lifts you up. Warrior two. Reverse. Warrior two. Reverse. Oh, hands will windmill down. Frame your front foot coming to a high plank where we're going to pause. Shifting forward and backward. I'm going to move into side plank. You might drop your right knee to make that happen. Left foot comes all the way to the earth and the left arm floats high. Maybe a float of that left leg using the glutes, the thigh, the belly. Coming back to high plank. Side plank, other side. Return to high plank. A low plank into your back bend. And then your downward facing dog. Hands walk to the feet for a forward fold at the back of your mat. If you would like a bind, yogi toe lock, rag doll, hands behind your calves or your ankles or your heels. Find fullness of this shape. Nod your noggin, shake your noggin, open and close your jaw, waggle your eyebrows. Release your bind, half lift, forward fold. Rise to stand. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands to your heart or your hips. Stay in chair pose. Shift weight onto your right leg, float your left knee. Lengthen your left leg. Step forward. Float your right knee. Cross your right ankle above your left knee. Sink down into figure four. Float your right knee. Lengthen your right leg. Step forward. Lift your left knee. Sinking down with a bend in the right knee. Standing figure four. Left knee lifts. I'm going to step back into a warrior two. Going through airplane or bird if you like. Didn't work for me. I lost my balance. It's just yoga. Spread those right toes. Place them back to the mat. Use that whole foot. Flip your front palm reverse. Stay in your reverse. Extend your right leg. If for Trikonasana you tend to shorten your stance or dial your left toes forward, take that here. First, we're going to go into warrior two arms and check that the shoulders and the hips are stacked. Right arm shifts forward, left hip toward the left foot. Go as far as you can. Reach, reach, reach. And then drop the hand inside the right knee, the thigh, the calf. We do not have to go deep here. We're aiming for the body in a single plane. Like we're two-dimensional. Return to your warrior two. Hands to your hips, lengthen your front leg again, and pivot on your right heel so you're facing the long edge of your mat. We're going to go ahead and bring the heels in, toes out, sink down for goddess or temple, also known as horse pose. I'm going to shift a little left and right because that is what my body is guiding me to. Lengthening one leg and then the other. And settling back in. Once again, working the tailbone down and forward and the shoulders and the hips stacked. Rise up to our five-pointed star. Come back down to temple. Rise back up, five-pointed star. Come back down to temple. Stay in temple. Lift both heels off the earth. Sink your bottom down, draw the belly in, and bring your heels back down, staying low. Rise back up, five-pointed star. Hands to your hips. Bring your front foot, your right foot parallel to the front of your mat, and point your left toes to the back of the mat. Come back into your warrior two. You might need to lengthen your stance a little bit. We're facing the back of the mat, the left hand, left toes. Reverse the warrior. Warrior two. Lift the left toes off the mat, spread them wide, bring them back down. Reverse. Staying in this beautiful reverse, you're going to extend the left leg, preparing for triangle trikonasana. Take your time moving into it, working the shoulders and the hips to remain in the same plane. Warrior 2, hands to hips. Left toes dial to the long edge of the mat. I'm going to take a wide-legged forward fold here. You can add a twist. You can add a sway. You can add a whoosh if you're getting hooked on anything. But imagine that when the hips are lifted to the sky, you're actually pressing energy into the feet, like you're pressing the ground away to bring the hips closer to the sky. We're going to walk toward the front of the mat with the hands. Point the right toes forward. Come to the ball of the back foot. Take your right hand outside your right foot. And then heel toe that right foot to the left. We're going to move into a pigeon here. And we're going to start, ideally, with a little back bend. If you have a king pigeon, feel free to go there. We haven't done that much heart opening yet. But we're going to find our way into a little back bend. Scooting that left leg straight out of the hip. And then finding our fold. Proppage if you need it under that right glutes, under the right glutes. Head rests on something, so if you need to stack your hands, feel free. But check in that you're not putting all your energy between your shoulder blades. You don't want to collapse between the shoulder blades. You want that space wide. This pose is often polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it. And interestingly, getting hooked doesn't necessarily mean that what is hooking you is creating a negative sensation. You could be hooked on a positive sensation, like thrill seekers, but to a lesser extent. So if you love this posture, and I do, I used to hate it, now I love it, check in there as well. If you're kind of hooked, this is the best thing ever, allow that feeling to dissipate, which is hard to do because we like that feeling, the feeling of feeling good, the feeling of joy. And nothing is permanent in this life. So when that joy goes away, we then go and seek something else, whether that is a favorite food or a favorite film or a favorite place to be, rather than finding that balance, that equilibrium. Hands plant underneath your shoulders. We remove the prop, coming into a high plank, or maybe I'm going to take a 3-legged downward dog. Then I'm going to bring my knee to my nose and return back to the downward dog. And go ahead and move into plank and place the left shin in its position for pigeon here. Back bend first. And all the way into pigeon. If you stacked your hands, see if you can stack them the other way this time. I can't remember which way I stacked mine, so. You're going to release yourself out of this posture in whatever way makes sense. To come onto the left hip, swing the right leg around and bring the soles of the feet together. The seat scooted toward your feet. Draw onto your forearms. We're working our way into a Supta Baddha Konasana. Torso long, shoulder blades squeeze, heart high, maybe the head drops back, and then you find your way fully into your bound angle pose. You're on your back. Any negative energy, any hook, anything holding you back, drawing you in, preventing you from being in this moment. Let's let it go with the breath out the mouth. Hands can help the knees point back toward the sky. A little hug in of the knees, moving into either a happy baby or legs up the wall. We're going to pop that left foot onto the earth, lengthen the right leg toward the sky. Shoulder blades working to touch the ground. And then we'll take that the opposite. Right foot down, left leg stretches toward the sky. Feet as wide as your mat, the knees touch. And we windshield wiper the legs left and right. Just finding a little torso, obliques movement, stretching of the thighs. And find your final resting posture, whatever that means for you here. Nice big breath in. Let it all go. Any remaining tension pouring from the body as if you're standing or lying, floating in a gentle, warm waterfall that washes any last vestiges of irritation, agitation, annoyance, rumination out of the head, out of the heart, out of the body. Shavasana. As the breath deepens, we start to reawaken the body, finding some movement until eventually we roll onto one side. Doesn't matter which side, whatever feels right to the body. We take a moment to return to our intention. And with that in mind, we press ourselves back up to a seat. Legs cross. Maybe the back is against a wall. Hands come to your heart, pressing together, and the thumb knuckles work toward the sternum. The sternum is a really great place, the breastbone, to tap on or to connect with your fingers when you have anxiety. Anxiety is a hook, or created by a hook, or your response to a hook. And consider here, if you like to dedicate your practice to a being or beings, it could be someone you know, people you don't know, or maybe it's yourself today. Remembering that the sound of the breath or the sound of the Om is an opportunity to connect with all living things. It's a universal energy.
also a chance to release any additional tension. So if you'd like to join in with breath or sound, feel free. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. Breathe in deeply and fully. Thumb knuckles connect right at the center of your forehead. Nothing in life is permanent. We reap what we sow. We have the tools, the breath, the movement, the energy to face our hooks and respond to them differently. Namaste. I hope you have a terrific remainder of your day. It was great to be here with you. My name is Karen. If you haven't had an opportunity and you have the funding to donate, please go to the website. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you, well, not seeing you again soon, to you seeing me soon, and maybe in person. Have a great day.